Hey guys, Crystal here from Elite Hair Care USA. So my client here came to me from Tampa / Lakeland. As you guys can tell, we have our work set out for us today. She came in, and if you notice, she has a couple different areas where she's thinning / balding. She got a haircut from another stylist. The stylist really, I'm not sure what the concept was. I'm not against any stylist in their work, but in my preference, it would not have been cut this way, but that's fine. We're going to do our absolute best to fix that. She also got a quick weave after getting the haircut, and I think she has an allergy to either some form of latex or something that was used during the service, because all of her hair came out in the front around her perimeter. She said her head was itching almost immediately. So our work is to get this as blended as we possibly can. And then we also have to be able to use some of her length from the top to try and mask those areas that are extremely thin. Here is the issue that arises when you have situations such as hers. If the haircut is already butchered, where she is cut too high up, they did not leave enough hair to cover certain areas. They put blunt cuts in certain parts of the longer hair. We don't have a lot of hair that we can use to mask her sides and her back. So what I had to do was utilize the hair that she did have in the crown and kind of create a more flat style versus, my typical volume style to kind of fool the eye that there's nothing wrong with her cut. So how I started out, I went ahead and we did do a relaxer to get all of her hair to lay down the right way. If you guys could tell from the preview of the introduction of the video, she had let her hair grow out in the sides and the back, and then on the crown area, we basically are just going to use that to her advantage. Now, the side that she's having the most issue is the side that I'm on right now. So I didn't do a whole lot of cutting because I needed almost all of that hair that's on that side. But if you guys notice, the hair right behind her ear going towards where that thinning or balding area is extremely short. So I couldn't even pull hair from that area to cover that. Nor was I able to pull a lot of hair from the top because I needed all of that length on the top to help blend the haircut itself, because I can't grow the sides and the back overnight. So with that being said, we just did the absolute best that we possibly could. It still came out extremely cute. It's very workable for her. And then going forward, the object to it is to just regrow a lot of her hair. I don't think we'll be doing any more cutting for maybe a year, just to allow the choppiness of the haircut that she previously had to really grow out, so that we can then emphasize a little bit more, and then also see if we can get that area that is thinning and balding to grow back. But I did also inform her, to just go and just get checked in regards to the allergy that she might have, because there's no way to rule anything out until you really do it again, which is the sad part. You have to know at what step of the process something changed for you to know what your allergy is. It's not like you can just do an allergy test and it's going to tell you that you have an allergy to relaxer. These things aren't typically tested in allergy tests. So it's something that you have to do ruling out to see where the allergy lies, or just not do it at all. And she said that as soon as she got the quick weave, almost the next day, her head was itching like crazy. So that does tell me that she has some sort of allergy. And a part of me says that it may be to one of the ingredients in either the bonding glue or in the growth protect that the stylist might have used when she was doing the quick weave. But I'm not a doctor, so I can't really diagnose. I can only just, give my observation, more say. So now we did the actual haircut. If you guys notice, the hair that was in the top or in the crown area, all I did was basically comb it down over the short parts, and I just blended it as best possible with the hair that she has in the back. I didn't want to cut it too short, because then it's going to really expose that side where it's really, really thin. And then, of course, it wasn't almost enough for me to be able to cover every issue that she had. but I was able to blend it well enough where it would just blend out until that hair grows out. So she needs about at least another 1/2 inch of growth, and that will make it very, very easy for us to cover everything. But like I said, we did our absolute best with what she had. We didn't want to add any more hair because we don't know if she has an allergy. So usually the fix to that would be, you can add a track or two just to give her fullness. In this case, we did not have that ability. Nor am I able to do any type of micro linking or invisible track, because guess what? The hair is so weak in the crown, I can't really add anything. So at this point, we just had to use what she had, and we are going to make it work out for her and still make her look absolutely beautiful and give her a style that is manageable for her as we grow her hair out and get it back into a 100% healthy state. I'm not going to say 100% because there's no such thing as 100%, but get her as close to as healthy a head of hair and full head of hair as possible. Now, she does have fine textured hair, I will say that. And with that being said, fine textured hair gives people the appearance that, oh, my hair is not full, that means it's not healthy. No, that's just the texture that you have. That just means that your hair texture is a lot finer than those who are coarse or medium. There's nothing wrong with the hair. That's just the texture that you were given. So is her hair going to be like an afro? No. But she is fine textured. Okay? So keep that in mind when you guys are determining if your hair is healthy or not, which there's really no such thing. It's really just as long as you're taking really good care of it. It's not breaking, it's not shedding too much. Those are the things that define a healthy head of hair. All right, so we used our Elite Silk Wrap Foam to mold her. Guys, I live by our Elite Silk Wrap Foam, okay? It is great for natural hair. It is great for relaxed hair. I use it for twist outs. I use it for comb twists. I use it for molds. I use it to smooth the edges. I use it for almost everything other than to cook. Okay, so I used our Elite Silk Wrap Foam to mold her down. If you guys look right behind her ear, that is where I said that we needed just a little bit more hair to be able to cover that area. But it will look just fine. It's not something that I'm going to focus too much on right away, because at the end of the day, if you focus on it like that, it's not something you can fix right away. So why worry about it? We did get good coverage in the areas where it was extremely thin or sparse, so that made it even better for her. Now, if you guys notice, I did not speed up this portion of the video when it came onto the mold, because I always tell you guys the mold is the most important part, especially when you are doing services of this nature. The mold is going to depict how the hair lays. It's going to depict how smooth, how lustrous, everything. And if you're using the wrong wrap foam, if you're using something other than wrap foam, if you're using one of those heavy wrap foams, it is not going to help you. It is going to hurt you. So I highly suggest, if you have any type of situation where you're using any form of wrap foam, definitely get you a bottle of Elite Silk Wrap Foam. I highly recommend it. It is my go-to. It is my baby. Now, I'm not using end papers. I'm not using the wrap strip to hold her mold down this time. I'm using end papers. Reason being is I feel that if I use the wrap strip, it has a possibility to disturb the mold. So I've been getting away from the wrap strips, and then I started using these end papers. Another stylist taught me this, and it's just been a really good tool, or a really good pro tip for me when it came onto my mold, because it allows the hair, number one, to dry faster. It keeps the hair down, and then as it dries, the strips will just fall off and the hair will stay in place. And then, of course, even with wrap strips, it does the same thing. But what I find with wrap strips is if the client scrunches their head, if they move their head too much, the strips will move. And then, of course, it takes a longer time to dry because the strips are so thick. So this seems to work a little bit better, but it is a case-by-case basis. Not everyone can use the end papers. Some people, especially when the hair is growing out and it's not relaxed and laid, you do definitely need the wrap strips. So just use your rule of thumb. Depending on the stage of your grow out is when you'll determine if you can use this or wrap strips to hold the hair down. So she'll go under the dryer for about 30 minutes. 30 minutes is actually more than enough time based on her texture and hair type. And then from there, we'll go ahead and do her style. Okay, so now she's dry. So I'm just going to use my Babyliss FX Gold or Gold FX trimmers to just trim down around her neck. Some people like to leave it nice and wispy. If it's something where the client requests it, then I don't, trim the back and the sides. The sides and the nape. Me personally, I like crispy lines. I don't like hair growing down my back. So I typically like to clean it up, but of course at client's request, it's not a requirement. All right, so we have cleaned her up. We're gonna go ahead and go with the curl portion of the service. And most people will want to go and try to blend out that little hard line that's right behind the ear. Here's the thing, you guys. Remember, there's short hair and there's long hair. There's no hair that's been blended in that area because she had that not so great haircut when she came in. So I had to over direct that hair just to kind of give the illusion that there was hair there. So it's not all the time, you guys, that you can cover everything, but you can definitely do your absolute best to make it appear like nothing is wrong. So in her case, we did leave the line there, but you'll see how it blends as much as possible when we get towards the end of the video. So I'm just going through and I'm just curling her using our H2 Pro 3/10 of an inch iron, and then I also use the 1 inch iron. Most people would try to just kind of leave it as a flat style. I don't like flat styles, okay? Unless I absolutely have to. I feel like flat styles they're not flattering. That's crazy. Flat styles are not flattering. They're not flattering to the client's face. Some people can get away with it, others can't. And I feel like, I went to school for quite a long time. So I'm going to make sure that I give my client something that is going to accentuate their face. I don't like flat styles and I don't like comb over styles. I'm just one of those kind of people. If I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it like pow. That's me. Now, I want you guys to take note of how lustrous or shiny her hair is. We did not do a hair color today, you guys. All I did was mold her using our Elite Silk Wrap Foam. I did not even put any frizz tamer or shine serum on her hair because her hair is already very fine. That would have the ability to just make the hair even heavier. And I didn't want it heavy. I wanted it nice and light. So all I did was spray a little bit of spritz on her hair, which is a very light spritz. Not even a spritz. It was actually some Sebastian Shaper Plus, which is an aerosol hairspray, just to kind of help seal the hair and give it a nice finish as I was curling. And that was very minimal. I didn't put any other product on her hair. So this is all her hair and the Elite Silk Wrap Foam. That's it. If you notice, there's no flaking. It's not hard, it's movable, it looks soft, and it's nice and shiny. That is what quality product does to the hair, okay? And shameless plug, Elite Silk Wrap Foam needs to be in everybody's cabinet, whether you're relaxed or natural, because that baby gets you laid, okay? All right, so what we're doing is I'm going through and just giving her a bump in the crown area. Now, I'm not making it very tight. I don't want it tight because it's just going to take away from the illusion. You still have to be able to cover certain areas, but at the same time, you still need to have some sort of style, right? You don't want the client just walking out looking any kind of way. So I wanted to accentuate her face, and with her face shape and her type, a lot of stylists don't follow this either. Face shape will depict what works for a client's head or hair. If you ever notice, people who have larger foreheads, they typically go with styles that have bangs or feathering. Why? Because it takes away the illusion, or it gives the illusion that the head is a small head or a small forehead. I know because I have one. So for her, I wanted to make sure that I gave her something that will come towards the face but not cover the face. And a lot of stylists don't follow the face shape and head shape. That is a part of the anatomy, and that's a part of knowing what works for the client and what doesn't. So I'll definitely be teaching that in my alopecia weaving class. But I want you guys to get into this haircut and tell me what you guys think. It came out absolutely amazing, okay? It was enough to cover. It was enough for me to figure out how to blend the cut after the way she came with the cut. It was enough to cover her hairline in the front that was also thinning, and also give her style. So I did use some of our Elite Masket Fibers, just to kind of add a little bit of density or shading to the area that was just a little bit fine. You'll be able to see that in the finished style. But that's really it, you guys. That's something that you can do at home as well. If you have our Elite Silk hair fibers, or if you have anyone else's, you can use it, guys. Don't be afraid to use it. There's no wrong to that. It actually just gives you more benefit. It gives you more confidence. So I definitely say try it out. But like I said, you guys, comment down below. Tell me what you guys thought about the finished product. And as you guys can tell, did you see how that just shaded in that area? But it didn't make it look like it was spray paint. You don't want it to look like you painted it on. You just want it to look like you filled it in and don't really know that your hair fiber is there. And that's something that you can do at home, you know, on an every other day basis or every week basis. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know I talked a lot in this video, but please don't forget to subscribe, comment down below, and thumbs up.